It's a sight common to many urban dwellers. In laneways, on fences, in parks, under train and bus stations, it can be an eyesore. But what about the creations of legitimate street artists? The colourful, interesting streetscapes creating a unique atmosphere to Brisbane's inner city areas. Brisbane City Councillor David Hinchcliffe believes many in the community are ill-informed when it comes to street art.
In relation to the state of graffiti art in Brisbane, I think Council has overreacted against the prevalence of unlawful graffiti vandalism in our city. We should learn from the experience of cities like Melbourne and elsewhere around the world that have embraced street art. Look, out there in the general community there is no clarity at all about what is street art and what is graffiti, and the boundary, the distinction, the dividing line. In terms of residents' local views, I think that there is a genuine acceptance of street art. Down at Jamie's you've got a lot of stencil art, and people go there. It's a vibrant, gritty urban space. I think Council needs to recognise the times are changing, the demographic is changing. There are more and more young people who are exercising their vote and saying, well, hold on, Council needs to recognise if we have a policy for vibrant laneways, part of that vibrancy ought to be about accepting and embracing genuine street art. So I think that you will see a change over time. There is so much to be gained. I've been to places which really are alive. They're vibrant because on the walls there is this really free expression of the individual.
Many legitimate street artists echo Councillor Hinchcliffe's opinion, including Chris. He says street artists are often referred to as vandals. When we caught up with Chris, he said he preferred not to show his full face on camera due to the stigma surrounding street art. So Chris, thanks for joining us. Firstly, I'd like to ask you, how did you get into street art?
It was just like growing up, I always saw graffiti everywhere, and I didn't really see it as street art, I just saw it as like graffiti and something I always wanted to do.
So what opportunities are presently available for street artists here in Brisbane?
Yeah, well, it's not really anywhere in Brisbane that I know of that you can paint like just any time.
So what is it about street art that you like?
I don't know, it's just like a thing that like, you create and you can do yourself, and like anybody can do it, but it's like when you do something that you think's real good, that you don't feel like a sense of accomplishment within yourself.
Councillor David Hinchcliffe said Brisbane City Council should take more inspiration from cities like Melbourne in giving their street artists opportunities. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's not really anywhere the government actually gives you to go. Like, yes, in Melbourne and that they got whole lanes full of like legal places you can go, and it's like a big tourism thing. But here in Brisbane, that's nothing.
Now on show here at the University of Queensland's Art Museum is the National Gallery of Australia's Space Invaders exhibition, a one-of-a-kind showcase of street art from all over the country. The exhibit brings together works created by street artists and aims to challenge the misconceptions that surround street art. Assistant Curator Samantha Littley explains.
So Space Invaders is a travelling exhibition from the National Gallery of Australia in Canberra, and the exhibition is drawn entirely from their collection of street art. It is something interesting and different to what you would normally expect to find in a museum environment, and I think it raises questions in doing that, because basically what it says is, what is the distinction between, say, vandalism and self-expression, and once you start bringing those objects into a gallery, you start raising those questions, and I think it's a really interesting approach.
It seems despite its negative public perception, street art is certainly attracting attention of artistic circles. Perhaps a step in the right direction for emerging street artists such as Chris and others who are adding a new lease on life to Brisbane's inner city.